This is Work From Home, the show that helps you stay connected, productive and sane while working remotely. I'm Harry, and what do you wear to the office? This is definitely something I spent far too much time thinking about when I used to prepare for my daily commute every day. I've definitely spent far too much on shoes and ties than I should have done in the past. I probably take more of an interest than many do. And definitely one of the things I miss about that is, since working remotely, is I really rarely have to think about what I'm wearing. More often than I care to admit, I would turn up to a meeting on Skype or whatever we might be using with a nice shirt on that makes me look professional and PJs underneath the table out of sight. But actually there's a lot to be said for sort of getting yourself in a mental place to start work each day. And so working from home, a lot of people say, even down to the detail of putting shoes on when you go up to down to your home office to work, is really important to stay productive. So we wanted to speak to Dale Berning Sawa again today, who's written about this topic a little bit and had a few things to say on the matter. Let us know what you do when it comes to dressing for work at home. Is it something you spend any time on, or do you literally roll out of bed in your PJs? I think it's it's an interesting topic that we don't really talk about much. I do think that it's really interesting because it's very, very easy to be working from home, and despite the fact that everyone is kind of curating the background of their video so that it makes sure that their bosses think that they're being very productive and in a professional environment, it's incredibly easy to roll out of bed in your pajamas and sort of work in your slippers. Or
why do you think my video is not
there you go. Perfect. So that's really good, right? So it's really important. It's really easy for that to be the case, but so many people that are sort of experienced work from homers will say, make sure you dress like you would for the office. And it's about sort of, mindsets, about kind of framing the thing that the place and I don't know. Well, maybe you can tell us. Like, what effect does it have, and what kind of psychology is going on there? Do you think?
I think again, it comes down to confidence and also boundaries. So if you're the type of person who can get up and you don't have a child to deal with, so you can literally roll out from your bed onto your desk and instantly be in work, then that's pretty amazing. And maybe you should just embrace it, and then work until you can't do that anymore, and then give yourself the afternoon off. And if you manage to do your work in that way, there's no one telling you that you can't. So go for it. That's
literally what Alex does here. Alex rolls out of bed at 6 o'clock in the morning, presumably with clothes on. I've never asked him, but that bit, and then works until 2, 3 in the afternoon, and that which seems to work really well for you, Alex.
Yeah, well, I put my work jumper on, but that's about it.
You have a work jumper? What's your work jumper like?
I have like 3 or 4 like maroon jumpers.
They're all maroon?
Yeah.
That's your work colour?
That wasn't intentional. I just ended up over years buying a lot of maroon.
That's amazing. This is genuinely not a mocking, but it kind of reminds me of like Family Guy or The Simpsons, where they'll look through their wardrobe. They'll always have that scene in a cartoon, because a cartoon character always looks exactly the same, and they'll open up their wardrobe and it's just like 20 white shirts and 20 pairs of green trousers. I'm rather jealous of that, because I always talk to Pip about wanting to have a uniform of sorts, so I don't have to think about what to wear that day. It's just like, I guess that's why Zuckerberg always wears his black T-shirts or whatever it is.
I think it plays into what, in terms of clothing, and also what we were talking about around food before, is just, I like to decrease the amount of decisions I have to make in a given day. I don't really want to decide what I want to wear. I don't really want to decide what I want to eat. Like it's almost like school dinners. I'll give myself 3 choices.
Brilliant.
And then I'll go
and it's always fish fingers and chips.
It's always, it's like soup and a ham sandwich. So it is like 5-year-old food, but yeah, just fewer decisions I find are better.
But then I think a good counterpoint to that is that, again, you need to know yourself. If you struggle with anxiety or you struggle with loneliness or tedium, being at home alone can be boring if you're a real extrovert and you need stimulation. Looking at your wardrobe and putting on something fabulous might actually be a moment of pure joy in your day, and don't deny yourself that. So again, Zuckerberg or like Jobs with their uniforms, that can be the height of, like martial boredom for other people. I think they have found the thing that works for them. In the same way that working at midnight isn't for everybody, clothes-wise might not be for everybody. These rules might not apply to everybody either. One thing during lockdown again, and it's so similar, these things are all about how we manage our time, how we structure our time, and how we give ourselves breaks. So one guy I spoke to was like, I wake up in the morning, I'm just going to go back to music for a bit because it relates to the clothes. I wake up in the morning, I have to put on something really energizes me. Everyone I'd spoken until that point was mentioning like very boring, bland, beige, ambient techno. He was like, oh, no. I need soul. I need a voice. I need something that vibes, that gives me energy, that pumps me up, that just makes me feel so good. And then it changes. At lunchtime, he puts on something else. And in the afternoon, when he has to really, oh no, there was some point where it changes and he really needs to knuckle down and work. Then he's got a different tune, right? So I thought that was amazing because he was using the music to structure his day. And when it was time to go home, he was just getting up from his desk. He put in something else that was party time. And I loved that. Another woman who I really admire, she's a writer for The New Yorker called Rachel Syme, and she's on Twitter. And during lockdown, because she was going stir crazy by never leaving her apartment for months, she started doing distance but make it fashion on Sundays, where on Sundays, she'd put on her best clothes, she put on heels, the makeup, the hair, everything, just because it helped, it structured her week. So I think, again, clothes will serve that purpose. If you need to have shoes on your feet to feel like you're at work, then do it.
Yep.
But, if you need a maroon jumper, then that's fine. It's about listening to yourself and then being really kind to yourself. Don't force yourself into someone else's shoes or maroon jumper.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's it for today. WFH@lowerstreet.co is our email. We would love to hear what you feel about getting dressed for work and feeling professional even when no one is watching. Thanks, obviously, to Dale for joining us. Again, we'll link up some of her articles in the show notes. And as ever, we will be back with more working from home content every weekday. Do subscribe and tell your friends. Thanks for listening.